My name is Dr. Ivan Pavlov. I was born in 1933 in the Soviet Union. I've treated patients through war, famine, and the collapse of empires. Now, at 91 years old, I may not be fast on my feet, but my mind, my hands, and my knowledge are still sharp. I've spent over 70 years studying the human body. And if there's one lesson I've learned, it's this. When people ignore the small things, the body begins to collapse silently. In my consultations with older patients, both in Russia and more recently during my visits to America, I've noticed a terrifying pattern. People over 60 are losing their muscles far too early. Not because they're sick, not because they're weak, but because they're skipping a single crucial food that the body desperately needs at their age. You may not feel it right away. That's the danger. Muscle loss doesn't come with pain. It doesn't come with warning signs. It doesn't scream. It whispers. Your strength disappears slowly day by day. You find it harder to get out of bed. Your arms tremble when holding a bag of groceries. You struggle to stand up from a chair, and one day you fall and don't get back up the same. Let me tell you something important. Losing muscle after 60 is not normal. It's common, yes, but not natural. There's a difference. I've seen 80-year-olds with the muscle tone of 50-year-olds simply because they ate the right way. And I've seen 60-year-olds with the body of a 90-year-old because they skipped one food that protects muscle tissue like nothing else. This podcast is not about magic pills, expensive supplements, or trendy superfoods. It's about what I call longevity basics. Things your body needs every single day, especially after 60. And today we start with one food that you should never skip, especially not in the morning. But I won't give you the answer just yet, because before I can explain what this food is, I need to tell you what happens inside your body when you don't eat it. You deserve to understand how your body works, not just what to put on your plate, but why it matters. Too many doctors speak in cold clinical terms, but I have outlived most of them for a reason. I speak with truth, from experience, not from theory. When I was a young medical student, I saw old men walking like soldiers into their 80s. They weren't rich. They didn't have gyms. But they respected their muscles. They fed them properly. In the next part, I will walk you through the invisible process that is quietly destroying muscle in millions of seniors across the world. And if you are over 60 or care about someone who is, you must understand it before it's too late. Because once you lose more than 30% of your muscle mass, the decline becomes extremely hard to reverse. So I ask you, don't skip ahead. Stay with me. I'm not just giving you information. I'm giving you what I've learned over nearly a century of observation, study, and healing. And I promise you this. The food I will reveal, the one so many are missing, could change your mornings, your strength, and even your independence. Let us begin by looking at what is happening inside your body right now, whether you feel it or not. Let me begin by saying something very simple, yet often ignored. Muscles are not just for lifting things, they are your life support system. Without them, everything becomes harder, walking, standing, even breathing. Yet after age 60, millions begin to lose muscle mass without even realizing it. This process has a name, sarcopenia. It's a word most seniors never hear from their doctors, but it is the silent enemy behind falls, fractures, weakness, and even early death. Now, let me explain this in a way that makes sense. Imagine a house that has strong wooden beams holding it up. Over time, if you don't maintain the structure, the wood begins to rot slowly. You don't see it at first. The house looks fine from the outside. But one day the roof collapses. That's exactly what happens with your muscles. After your 30s, your body begins to lose muscle naturally, about 3 to 8% per decade. But after 60, that loss accelerates unless you fight back. And if you're inactive or eat poorly, you could lose up to 15% of your muscle each decade. This doesn't just make you weaker, it changes your metabolism. Muscle tissue burns calories and supports blood sugar control. When muscle disappears, fat accumulates, energy drops, and blood sugar rises. That's why many people over 60 develop diabetes and fatigue at the same time. I remember a woman named Olga. She was 67, still working, very proud, very independent. She didn't complain about her health, only said she felt a bit slower. Over the next year, she started struggling to carry groceries. Then came the dizziness, then the fall. She broke her hip. 6 months later, she had lost half her mobility. She never got it back. What happened? Sarcopenia, invisible, silent, devastating. Most people think, I'm just getting older, this is normal. But that is a dangerous lie. I've treated 85-year-olds who could walk upstairs without help because they never let their muscle disappear. And I've treated 60-year-olds in wheelchairs because they didn't know what was happening inside their own bodies. Muscle loss is not a disease, but it is a condition of neglect. Now here's where it gets even more important. Your body cannot build muscle without specific amino acids, and these amino acids must come from food, especially protein-rich food. If you skip these foods, your body will take what it needs from your own muscles. It will literally eat your strength to stay alive. And the tragedy is that many seniors are doing this every day without knowing. They eat toast, drink coffee, maybe some fruit in the morning, but no real protein, no building blocks for muscle. This is why so many older adults look fine but are dying inside. They feel weak, tired and fragile, not because they're old, but because their muscles are starving. I say this with urgency because I've watched too many families bring their parents to me when it's already too late. Once you've lost over 30% of your muscle mass, even physical therapy struggles to rebuild it. But there is hope. There is a way to stop this process, even reverse it. And it starts with restoring what your body is missing every single morning. In the next part, I will reveal the food that contains exactly the amino acids your body craves after 60, and why most seniors are avoiding it without reason. Now that you understand how muscle silently disappears after 60, it's time I tell you the truth that changed the lives of thousands of my older patients and kept me standing at 91. There is one food that contains everything your muscles are begging for. I am talking about eggs. Yes, eggs, not supplements, not powders, not fancy shakes, just real whole eggs. You might be surprised. You might even feel skeptical. I understand. Many seniors have been told for decades that eggs are dangerous because of cholesterol. But let me be clear, that is outdated, misleading, and harmful advice. Your muscles after 60 need high-quality complete protein, and very few foods provide it as perfectly as eggs. One egg contains about 6 to 7 grams of complete protein, meaning it provides all 9 essential amino acids your body cannot make on its own. But one amino acid in particular is critical: leucine. Leucine is what I call the ignition key of muscle protein synthesis. Without it, your body cannot build or maintain muscle, even if you eat other foods. And eggs are one of the richest natural sources of leucine available. Now let's go deeper. In my experience, patients who eat 2 eggs every morning have stronger legs, better posture, and fewer falls. Some even regain muscle they thought they had lost forever. Eggs also provide choline, which supports the brain and nervous system, and vitamin D, which helps prevent muscle weakness and bone loss. These are nutrients that are severely lacking in the diets of older adults, especially in Western countries. So why are so many Americans still avoiding eggs? Because of fear. Fear planted by old studies that connected dietary cholesterol to heart disease. But recent, large-scale research has shown that cholesterol from food has little to no effect on blood cholesterol levels in most people, and the benefits of eggs, especially for people over 60, far outweigh any outdated concerns. I always say, what is the point of having a perfect heart if your legs can't carry you anymore? Let me also tell you something personal. I have eaten eggs every single morning for over 60 years, not fried, not smothered in butter. I prefer them boiled or poached, simple, clean, and powerful. My hands are still steady, my legs still carry me. I owe much of that to the humble egg. Now if you're thinking, but doctor, I can't eat eggs every day, let me reassure you. Most people can. Unless you have a specific allergy or medical condition, 1 or 2 eggs daily is not only safe, it's essential. And remember, I am not sponsored. I have no reason to lie. I speak only what I've seen work. Still, I must warn you of something very important. Eating eggs alone won't fix the problem. If you combine eggs with the wrong morning habits, you may cancel their benefits without even knowing it. I've seen it happen. People eat eggs, but still lose strength. Why? Because of what they pair them with, or what they do right after. In the next part, I'll reveal the common breakfast mistake that erases the power of this food, and how to avoid it starting tomorrow morning. What you eat matters, but how you eat it, and when, matters even more. Now that you know the truth about eggs, and why they're essential after 60, let me warn you about something just as important: what you do right after eating them. Many people over 60 tell me, "Doctor, I've started eating eggs every morning like you said, but I still feel weak." I ask them what else they're doing. They usually answer, "I have my eggs, then some toast with jam, a muffin, maybe a little juice, and I sit down to rest." That's exactly the problem. You see, what you eat with your eggs, or what you do after, can either unlock their benefits or completely cancel them out. Let's begin with the biggest mistake I see among seniors in America: eating sugar in the morning. I'm not just talking about spoonfuls of sugar. I'm talking about sweetened cereals, fruit juices, pancakes, white bread with jelly, coffee with flavored creamers. These may look innocent, but they spike your blood sugar and trigger inflammation that interferes with muscle building. Here's how it works. When you eat sugar-rich foods in the morning, your blood sugar shoots up, and your body releases insulin to bring it back down. But insulin is not a gentle hormone. It's powerful, and it blocks fat burning and slows protein synthesis. In older adults, this becomes a serious problem because your ability to process sugar weakens with age. So even if you eat protein like eggs right before or after sugary foods, your body may not be able to use that protein effectively. It's like trying to build a house during a storm. The materials are there, but the environment is working against you. The second mistake is skipping movement. Many people eat a decent breakfast, then sit down to watch TV or scroll on their phone for hours. That's a recipe for muscle decline. After age 60, your body becomes extremely sensitive to physical activity signals. If you don't move your muscles, they begin to degrade, even if you've eaten the right food. Let me tell you something I tell every patient. Protein is the seed, but movement is the sunlight. You need both. This is why I created what I call the Russian morning plate and the 15-minute rule. The Russian morning plate is simple: 2 boiled eggs, 1 tablespoon of plain Greek yogurt, 1 slice of dark rye or sprouted grain bread, a pinch of salt, black pepper, maybe dill, if you're like me. No sugar, no juice, just clean protein, healthy fat, and slow-digesting carbs. This fuels your muscles without triggering inflammation. Now the 15-minute rule: you must walk for 15 minutes within 30 minutes after breakfast. Not a workout, just a gentle walk, around the house, up and down the driveway, in the hallway, anything. This signals your muscles: I'm alive, I'm moving, I need strength. And your body responds by absorbing the nutrients and preserving your muscle mass. If you eat eggs but sit still for hours, you're losing half the benefit. If you eat eggs but flood your system with sugar, you're blocking the process. So remember, your body is not just what you feed it, it's how you treat it. You don't need fancy machines or personal trainers. You need discipline, and you need to respect the morning. In the final part, I'll give you the 5 simple rules I follow every day to protect my muscles, and that I've taught to patients who still walk proudly into their 80s and 90s. If you've stayed with me this far, you now understand more than most doctors ever tell their patients about aging and muscle loss. You know the silent danger of sarcopenia, the vital power of eggs, and the common morning mistakes that sabotage your body. Now I want to give you something simple, something you can write on a card, tape to your refrigerator, and live by every day. I call this my 5 rules for muscle preservation. These are not theories. These are habits I've practiced for decades, and they're the reason I'm still walking, speaking, and healing at 91. Let's begin. Rule 1. Never skip protein before 10 a.m. Your body needs fuel early in the day, especially complete protein. The first 2 hours after waking are a critical window for muscle repair and growth. If you skip breakfast or eat only carbs, your body enters a catabolic state. It starts breaking down your own tissue. 1 or 2 eggs before 10 a.m. can change your entire metabolic day. Rule 2. Eat 2 eggs a day, even if doctors told you not to. Unless you have a very specific medical reason, this advice is for you. 2 eggs a day give you enough leucine, choline, vitamin D, and complete protein to support muscle retention. Boiled, poached, or soft scrambled, keep it simple. Your muscles don't care about taste, they care about survival. Rule 3. Walk for 30 minutes a day, ideally after eating. You don't need to run, you don't need a gym, but you must move. Movement is what tells your muscles to stay. Without it, food becomes fat. With it, food becomes function. A walk after breakfast or lunch sends a powerful message to your nervous system. I am using these muscles. Keep them. This is especially important for your legs, which lose strength fastest. Rule 4. No sugar in the morning. None. I said it before and I'll say it again. Sugar in the morning is a disaster after age 60. It causes blood sugar spikes, inflammation, and metabolic confusion. These things block protein synthesis and accelerate muscle breakdown. Avoid fruit juices, sweetened cereals, pastries, flavored yogurts. If it tastes like dessert, save it for after a walk, not for breakfast. Rule 5. Muscles are sacred. Treat them that way. This is not a biological rule. It's a mindset. If you see your muscles as just meat on your bones, you won't take care of them. But if you see them as your foundation, your freedom, your independence, you will protect them, stretch them, feed them, challenge them, and thank them. They've carried you for decades. If you care for them, they'll carry you further than you imagined. Let me close with this. Every bite you take after age 60 is a message to your body. Build or break, nourish or neglect, strengthen or surrender. Most people aren't losing their strength because of age. They're losing it because of daily choices made in ignorance. Now you're no longer ignorant. You know the truth, so tomorrow morning I want you to do one simple thing. Eat 2 eggs. Take a walk and tell someone you love to do the same. Because muscle isn't just about the body. It's about living with dignity, independence, and power. You deserve that. Your muscles deserve that. And as your Russian doctor and friend, I thank you for listening.